It is the 10th of June. This is your crypto news. We're going over Bitcoin, price going higher, Hype, Fartcoin, they're also looking good, and some other Solana news. We're going to go into some technical analysis as people are still calling for the top, and nothing is financial advice, but I don't think the top isn't too close. And I want to keep kind of pushing that until we've got some different data. So this is our resistance level for Bitcoin, which we have come across, and we've kind of bounced off it and we've gone up again. And this is our downtrend, which we were heading down and then we've come above it. In the past, we had this downtrend and it continued to go down for quite some time. This one, we've come up past it. Now, there is this resistance level here, the 7-year all-time resistance level, which Jason Bazzino thinks this double top here looks similar to this. In other words, it could be all over. I'm not of this opinion. And we've got this when we kind of zoom in a little bit closer. We can see that we want to get above this line. And then I'm expecting us to kind of go a little bit off to the races, but we need more data for this to all work. In terms of the actual resistance, we need to have a look at this screenshot here, which is the market cap dominance of USDT. And we need to break down. We've got this, whenever we break down, things go off to the races. So we need that to come down, and then we get the BTC all-time high, and then altcoins start to run. If we kind of zoom in a little bit better, this is what it looks like. So we've been dancing around this, which is why there's so many people on the timeline still saying no altcoin season this cycle. I just don't see how that would be a thing. I mean, it's a possibility. We have to keep that in mind, but it's far more probable that it goes up, in my opinion, that we do actually have this all-time high, and then we get an altcoin season. So we need to break down, and the USDT dominance needs to drop, and then we need to trend towards this level here. And we're pretty close, where we need to get below around 4.5%, and we're like just above 4.6. So we come on down, and then things start to kind of really turn on. Having a look at this as a little reminder, like the M2 money supply is what I'm mostly going to be concerning myself with. I think roll pause is right this cycle, at the very least. Could be right in future cycles as well. But we have been quite correlated to this. And what we're seeing is we're going to see on the 15th of June, a bit of a dump, and then, M2 just dropped down briefly. And then after that, we bounce up. And specifically, you can see down here, it is the 18th of June, which is the FOMC meeting. And that's when we're off to the races. So I think this is a good time to start positioning yourself, not with leverage or anything like that, but if you want to buy some spot, I think we start to take off pretty damn soon. That's what the data shows. Nothing, of course, is always going to be correct, but that's the data that I have. And just as a reminder, in case you're not seeing in other videos, this is what's happening on June 18. We've got the federal fund rate, which it'll be the same. It'll be at 4.5%, and just unemployment claims and whatnot. We've got also some stuff happening in a couple of days. Now, the reason why I don't believe, and my team doesn't believe, that we are actually hitting this all-time high and that it's all over, is because when we have a look at this chart and we kind of zoom out, we can see in the previous cycle, there were months of staying in this extreme greed phase. Whereas we got this tiny little bit here, and then nothing. So yeah, right now, that's what I think. If we have a look at some other data as well, we can see that post-election years tend to bottom in early April and rally. And if this continues, be open to a surprise summer rally, because people are basically calling for summer to be really, really quiet. And maybe it will be, right? We have this habit of, I see it on YouTube, I try not to do it, of people saying, it'll go up, it'll go down, or it'll go sideways. I don't want to say anything like that. I want to get all the data and work out, like, if it's going to repeat like previous times, because I've been wrong before. We've all been wrong before, and we need to be far more right than wrong. That is the goal. And that's why we put in a lot of research into just these simple videos, which aren't even getting that many views yet. So if this continues, be open to a surprise summer rally. Imagine how mad it'll make you run. I like this thought process. And another good thing to keep in mind is the actual S&P 500 from the low to the current price is 25%, low being like 8th of April or something like this. And whenever you've had after 2-month gains of 20% or more, you've had an absolutely crazy period since. Like you can see the gains just coming and coming and coming and coming. And this hasn't happened too often. So I'm liking this, even though it doesn't necessarily mean that, it doesn't necessarily have to repeat. We're also greedier now. We had a very small period where we got a little bit neutral or a little bit fearful, and now we're greedy again. Yeah. Having a look here, ETH has been responding well. I think ETH is going to have its day pretty soon, to be honest. We can cover that in another chart, another day, maybe tomorrow. But we're putting most of our attention on hype because, and I'm working on a big tutorial for this. I keep on kind of pushing it back as we do more research, but we'll get it out today or tomorrow. But Hyperliquid is like the fastest horse. That's why we're kind of playing over there, to be honest. Or at least, longing hype or buying hype, staking hype. And Sol, still a lot of attention for Sol, of course. Sui's hasn't got as much attention as it has before, but I think ETH is ready to break out. In terms of liquidations, a lot of shorts. Michael Pizzino mentioned in the past that when you see 5% difference, then what's going to happen is the market makers will come and hunt the people that are up more than 5%. And that didn't happen. Like some longs have got wrecked, but it's been, if you're shorting, you got into trouble. But to see where things are going to go right now, like if we have a look at this, I think this is a really key point. We could see yesterday there are a lot more people that were shorting, and so we came up with the market makers took them, and now today we've got, this is just Bitcoin. We've got at least on Binance, we've got far more here to take if the price can move down a little bit, just even short term. And I think this is a good idea for you to check yourself. Coinglass.com, it's dynamic. You can see here a lot of people holding the line. Have a look at hype. Don't think we're going to see too much data here. Yeah, even this, like this, I mean, you could look at this and you can think, okay, well, we're gonna move on down. The price will move on down, except for the fact that there's such a lack of resistance here, and there's so much bullish narrative and buybacks and whatnot. I wouldn't be worried. I wouldn't be kind of concerned with that. If you entered earlier on the hype long, or if you bought hype when we mentioned Telegram and whatnot, cool. Otherwise, if you didn't, completely fine. But like, I wouldn't long it here, but I'd still add to my bag. I think it definitely goes a lot higher, and we'll cover that in a separate video. Maybe out tomorrow. Here as well, so you can see like there's a good cluster here. It would only bring the price down a little bit, but like if you were wanting to DLMM a range, I think just even coming down here and like here to here would be nice. In case the price does move down, you put in some USDC. And if you don't want to put in your Sol to try and get a little bit of upward trend, you could just put in some USDC to come on down. And like, we're going to work through this up and down, and you'll make some gains, I think. Nothing, of course, is financial advice. These are my opinions, right? Bybit as well. Yeah, it looks like we could be pushed down just not too far, like 155, 156, in order to liquidate these. Always keep an lookout for that. Now, there's other theories as well as to why the top's not in, and Ben Cohen's quite often right, not always. He gets a whole lot of engagement on Twitter for sure. So we're going to be keeping an eye on what he says as well, and just putting into mine. But he says like 200-week moving average crosses the prior all-time high. We'll keep an eye on it. This is the bullish news on Fartcoin. Tier 1 sexes slowly ramping up listings. We've got Coinbase coming along, and Bonk Guy, who is he's really good with memes, to be honest. very well worth a follow with notifications on. Next leg up to all-time highs on Fartcoin is programmed. All-time highs for Fartcoin, I think was like over $2, actually. We'll have a quick look in a second. Except this time, normies will be able to bid on Coinbase and maybe Robinhood. We can have a look here. Fartcoin up 18%, just like that. And we were speaking about it. It was in a range, and it broke out of the range, down, and then it's come up. Yet all-time high, $2.48. So that would be a bit of a, almost a double. And there's a lot of sentiment that this is where it's going to be. It's the organic token. Like Shiba was kind of the organic meme coin of the previous cycle. And this means, like, you can see my little Bonk statue back there. I'm still super bullish on Bonk. Bonk is going to have its day one day. But we have to go where attention is right now. That's what my thought process is. Do that with what you wish. We're also going to have a little bit more better news in the US markets, which of course affect the global markets. With Elon deleting President Trump's tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of the year. Plus the recession, the price is probably not even going to happen. Like the tariffs will probably be minimized completely. We'll just realize it can't work. And Trump won't get rid of his Tesla or Starlink and wishes Elon Musk well. I'll be honest, like if you love or hate him, like Tesla's a damn cool to drive, and Starlink is a fantastic backup to alternative internet. He's a smart dude. Bitcoin ETFs have bought 386 million worth of BTC yesterday. They flip and they flop, but like there's going to be a lot more attention coming. I'm confident. And BlackRock's IBET spot Bitcoin ETF becomes the fastest ETF in history to reach 70 billion assets under management. This is big news. If any of this happened in the previous cycle, people would be absolutely going nuts, right? This is massive, massive news. Humor Finance, which I have done a couple of videos on, bullish on this. And if you manage to maybe manage to get some tokens. If you want to get into Humor too, if you're staking, then you get to go in beforehand. Today, it just started, and otherwise deposit over for public tomorrow. So be early, because these sort of things, like they have real world utility. There's another one that I was looking into, Plasma Foundation. Like I'm not covering news today because I missed out and whatnot, but they filled up and everything with $500 million worth of deposits. So it's pretty crazy out there. This is some incredible news as well. I keep on talking about Kamino. I'm going to talk about Kamino forever, and that's a good thing. They are super, super safe and conscious. Their TVL is just growing like on steroids. And now it's been integrated into crypto.com. So if you use crypto.com app, and a lot of people do, it obviously has the best domain in crypto, then you can do DeFi lending in the crypto.com app. Lend out USDC and Sol on Kamino Finance. Receive rewards up to 3 times a week. Like this is, how does it have such low engagement? This is massive news. This is great for Kamino, and this is strange that they don't have a lot of engagement. Jurisdiction limitation supply, of course. You can always just use DeFi, but this is a good way for kind of CeFi, centralized finance, to work with DeFi, which is the future. The pump for the Kamino price hasn't really happened. So I'm still, we're down significantly from our all-time highs. Remember, like I'm bullish on Kamino, the Kamino token. You can go and claim it. Go claim it for season 3. You can do whatever you like with it. I'm going to sell some. I do have a bag that I'm going to keep on building up. It will have its time in the sun, I'm sure. But right now, it's more of the product has to build and then the token will follow. It's my kind of idea. Here's a new thing to put on your radar. We'll put a new thing on your radar. There's no sponsorship or endorsement. We haven't even used it. But trends.fun, give them a follow. Tokenized X posts and Internet Capital meet to permissionlessly curate a high signal feed. Check it out. Like it's in beta. I haven't played with it yet. However, it is connected to Jupiter in some sense because we can see that they've integrated this. So I imagine they're somewhat working together, something like that. But bullish on this. So I'm not bullish on the product. I'm bullish on new things being tried. However, the meme coinery casino, I like as an idea, it needs to happen and be like things need to be euphoric and greedy for meme coins to really take off. Other than the established ones, the Fartcoins, the Bonks, the Pepes, etc. And the final thing is DeFi Dungens of Forge. They have been closed since June 6th. So going for a bit of a cleanup. So that's why there's no news on this. And when they're coming back with a new expansion, I'll let everybody know. Certainly hoping that they manage to ship something that can capture attention. Attention is a game these days. It's not always easy to get it. But that's everything. Let me know your thoughts below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'm very, very keen to get your opinions. Thanks for watching. Cheers.